think what you'll get is, as the market develops, is competition, and I think ultimately it's competition that will ultimately result in what people want. So choice and competition kind of go in equal measure, really, in many ways. And what people don't have at the moment is either, really. Actually, if you want a new house in this area, you've got to go and buy something off that estate down the road. So once you free up the land supply and you get big companies selling off service plots, then I'm all for all the builders that we know and love, and they're the names that you see time and time again in the home building and renovating shows. They should all be competing with each other to build houses on their sites. Yeah. God, it feels like years ago, but early February, I was out in Australia, Western Australia, looking at the housing model out there. And it's just like that. You literally go on to what looks in many senses like an unbuilt housing estate, but the plots are bigger and a bit nicer. And on the, you go to the main sales centre, and near the sales centre, there's a road, and it's just full of individual builders who've built show homes. You can go in, you can meet the designers, they can tell you how much it's going to cost you, and you can pick your plot, and they'll go on and build one for you. It still takes 12 months to do, but you get the choice, you get the control of it. Yeah. And it's just absolutely ordinary out there, really. And the more I think about it, the more you just realise how bizarre it is that we don't follow that model.
Yes, very similar in the United States. I lived out in New England for quite a while, and we worked on sites where, just like you say, instead of a show home, there was essentially a design centre where there was multiple contractors that were design and build companies. There were some architects that would only do design, and then contractors would cost it and build it. But essentially, you're driving around a housing development with some houses that are either being created, have been created. The ones that have been created, the boundary treatment's finished, so it's a finished product. And then the overall developer has a requirement to maintain the landscaping until someone buys that plot. They strip it back and they start building again. But what you get at the end of it may take 2 or 3 years, but so will a volume house builder site here. You're only going to get so many people buying in one place at one time. But what you get is, rather than 100 homes of 4 different house types, you get 100 homes of individually designed housing, some level of cohesion as you would expect in materials, scale, etc. But all working for people. And I think the effects of coronavirus in places like Massachusetts, South Carolina, Perth, Sydney, Queensland, it won't be felt in the family, in the household, like it's being felt here. I think that there will be, and probably because they're quite willing to spend more time in the house. When I lived over there, you didn't need to go and entertain yourself out with your house, because actually you designed leisure time, into that property.